Let's get another message. My babe's just trying to get a message. If we may. What's the message? Archetype energy. What is the archetype energy my babes are embodying right now? The mask. Let's read it. Number 61. So, the mask is a tool. Okay. The mask. The persona, the performance, the reveal. We often think of a mask as something that conceals our identity, yet contemplate the possibility that the mask permits our true identity to be revealed. It allows. The mask gives voice to that which was previously rejected. When this card appears, enact the side of you that is seeking expression, yet was never given a role to play on the stage of your life. You are the realm of theater, so anything is possible. Speak with the other's voice, embody the other's limbs. You are taking part in the ritual of expanding the self. There may be mischief and deception around, and others may be trying on new masks too. No one is sure who is who. It's likely you've become so attached to a single mask that you need to fall face forward into this perception-bending time. Trust it. When light revels what has been suppressed, reveals what has been suppressed. When dark further conceals what is rejected. Let me just say, last night, how do you explain this? Okay, so there are multiple personalities within us, at least some of us, and some of us have cultivated the characters so defined differently, like the archetypes. We can all embody all of this depending on the moment we need to shift into a different archetype. Right now, somebody is being like there's a part of you that's being revealed through expression. So last night I was pondering the fact that I am connected to it's like I guess, like we call it God, source, angels, guides, all the voices that are swirling into one that we attach to and then express our voice from it. Okay, so I was sitting there like kind of confused on I'm connected to somebody who, well, a lot of people have the ability to tap in or click on my videos. And in order to provide a message with substance that allows an expansion of awareness, I don't I know some are not going to receive the message, and so I just feel like it's like if I could become perfectly in sync with God's voice, then I feel like the whole world would resonate. But of course, there's free will and a bunch of us that listen to any voice but God's. Okay, so I was sitting there and I'm also connected to somebody in real life here that I don't know how to be quite myself with, because who I feel most strongly, the voice that is the strongest that is expressed is a little independent and stubborn and and so if I just act like how I, with no filter, just me, it doesn't feel like I'll be received, because it's kind of like everything centers around me, or I'm assuming that they will feel like it's just everything's revolving around me, and I don't want to come off like that, and so I change it up, and the voice comes out in a different mask, one that is more well received. But then that puts me in a position where I am not myself, or dimming my light, or it's like sometimes I don't know. And so but the character that I was in as I was thinking about this was like a bratty child that, like, I don't want to smile, like if they were to come over, I would immediately be kind of like robotic, and like acclimating to their energy, as opposed to just being like the way like a 10-year-old is. Just no, just, well, not even at 10, there's many different levels of consciousness that they embody, but like a child that is just not interested in people pleasing or doing anything out of hopes to gain something from somebody. And so because I have something to gain from this person, like knowledge of a world that I'm barely tapped into, the business world, I have to kind of shift into somebody that it doesn't feel authentic, but I guess is necessary. And so, anyways, that's all over the place. But really, I was just trying to describe to you guys, as I was sitting there, all these characters were kind of trying to, not trying to, but like I could tap into different personalities or characters or archetypes. And it's like, which energy am I? But it's it's transcendental. It's shifting. The different archetypes of us come out and expressed differently for different reasons at different times with different people, and so it's like, so if I could excuse me, if I could just relax on, I need to be authentic and however I feel, no matter who and what. But no, we have to acclimate to the situation. And since I don't want to, and since I don't need this person to see my unfiltered, most authentic expression, I don't need them to, and so I shift into, who do I shift into around this person? Somebody that's like business. It's like going to work. You can't just show up and be, you have to focus, and so I had to accept that that's fine. That's fine. I don't need to try to. Anyways, so what energy, I'm just curious, do I shift into around this person? The box. It's like, all right, square it up and keep your little light, in there, but protected. I don't necessarily want to read that for you guys because that was just for me personally. But if you want me to, I could. And the census is... Census? I think I said that right. Taking a census? Anyways, so the mask. Somebody is about to express themselves in a way that has been hidden inside the box. Somebody's going to have an opportunity to... It's like you've been cultivating a character in secret, in silence, and it's about to take stage. Okay. So, and also, last night, my mom and I went to Mexico so I could get some teeth worked on. So we had a long time together in the car, and she said at one point, she said how much I have changed from a year ago, which is true, but really I just didn't express certain parts of me until this last year when it became vital to my development of, maturing into, it's like it just, something just, now I can't keep in a box anymore. And I don't know exactly how she thinks I've changed, because to me, I'm the same. I'm just expressing who I already was. Anyways, The mask. Just a second. Excuse me. And any of you guys that are curious, I didn't move my trailer yesterday. I'm moving it today. And I have about an hour before I have to do that. And I'm going to Vegas in the morning, so that's why I can fit in a message here. And I'm going to try to find time for a couple messages when I'm in Vegas. But here we are. The mask. A theater. We have to perform for the, depending on the situations. So, what's the message? I feel like we need more direction. These are also, I think, kind of like archetype energies. These triggering ones. Okay, what's the message? For my babes, just trying to get a message, if we may. What is another energy that can complement this mask energy, or that connects somehow? Addict. Well, we're all addicted to something, someone. I'm addicted to Jesus, and I gotta keep it regulated. No. Addicted. What am I addicted to? I'm addicted to progress. So it doesn't have to be negative. Anyways, light attribute helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior. Maybe somebody's addicted to a mask that is keeping you limited. I get it. Shadow attributes compromises integrity and honesty, allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. You guys all know your biggest addiction, whatever comes to mind, and should I say this? I used to be overweight, addicted to food. I used to be addicted to all the drugs. Actually, I didn't try a single drug until I was 30. So I had a solid foundation of being a pretty goody two shoes. And the drugs I never stole or did anything to harm anybody, but inevitably it hurt my parents. And so it is. I was like, ugh. Okay, my point is, whatever comes to mind when you think of an addiction for yourself, some people don't even consider the fact that they could overcome it. They've fought and fought and fought, and fuck it, just go smoke a cigarette. I used to smoke socially. I never really bought my own packs because I knew if I did, then it might. But okay, so I overcame food, cigarettes, all the fucking hard drugs, and I think I was addicted to narcissists for sure. The intrigue of the ones that deny the truth, and you just have, it's like this competition or this thing where you got to prove that your perspective is better. And so I'm yep, I'm still intrigued, but I think I've overcome that by enough like success. Often I wouldn't know, but I assume once I exit their life, that's kind of when all the things that I was trying to show them come flooding in, because the absence of it, of me, it's like they can finally discern what I was trying to share from what they were trying to get from me, or something like that. Excuse me. Okay, so my point is, there are many of us that don't think that we'll overcome a certain addiction. But it's like you have to want it bad enough. And so when you think about all the things that you will gain from the absence of that addiction, and start focusing on having more money, having more energy, having more respect for your body or respect from others, and space to create and do, just is like, unless you don't focus on what you can gain, you'll just be focused on what you lose. And so I think somebody's addicted to an old persona of themselves, or a current one that is transforming. And so when we, for the first time, say the things that we are aligned with within this character we've been cultivating, it feels scary. Like you might not be received, and many people won't receive. But you practice and you keep being consistent, so that it's not just I'll just try being this person and it didn't feel good, so you stop. It's like, no, you do it over and over and over until it is refined and matured. If you think about it, the spectrum of your lifespan, the baby to the elder, you are so many different people, even in your physical appearance. It is so drastic. We have to recognize that things change, and we have free will, and with dedication, devotion, and intention, and understanding of where you know you could go, and latch on to that, the highest potential of you. Even if you're in your 60s or your 70s, Jesus says don't wait until you're old to kind of I started, my whole life I've been trying to elevate and understand and align. And if I hadn't started then, there would be too much to unravel or untangle, and not enough time to overcome all the things that you've been putting on the back burner. But doesn't mean it's not possible. It just means you have to anyways, even if you're older, we strive to do the best we can, and sometimes we're hindered by those who we're surrounded with, our environment, a toxic workplace, and it's so simple but impossible. But the answer is to remove those blockages. It's like to remove people out of your life. It's one of the hardest things to do, is to let people go, or a job, or a home. But there are those of us that have exercised this letting go muscle and can inspire and encourage and vouch for the other side. And those people, places, or things, they'll still be there, but they'll be attached to the old version of you, and they won't feel comfortable acknowledging the new you. But that is not your problem, because who you're trying to be within those environments, and be received, will actually take the effect that you were trying to have once you're outside of it, because then they can see you from the outside instead of entangled with their own projections. That, all right, so somebody's addicted to an old persona, and we're going to help us recognize and confront this addictive behavior. Because when you let go of something or someone, they might feel some type of way, but it will allow them to have to think for themselves, and they can let it devastate them and crush them or something, or they can take the opportunity to take your lead and focus on bettering their own mental state and conscious expansion. And so it's not your problem to It's like we don't have to stay in situations out of guilt. It's not helping anybody. Okay, so what's the message? My babes. I was trying to get a message. Let's get some tarot. My mouth is dry. They gave me antibiotics and it makes my mouth dry. And Arizona. When I drove from Oregon to Arizona, it's like a 2.5 day trip. My lips got so chapped within 2 days that it was like, it looked like I was wearing lipstick. It's like Arizona is so hard to stay hydrated. Anyways, what's the message? All right, addicted to a persona that is, excuse me, outdated. Excuse me. But it's like the moment you just express the character that you've been keeping silent, it's like you'll be happy to let that old persona go. Like I said, that from baby to elder, we don't stay stuck on 12-year-old energy because, well, let me take that back. I don't plan to discard any of my childhood energy. And it'll come out when it's appropriate, but it's not like, it's not like I would ever have regrets about the other characters that have developed into their own expression. You don't have to disown this old persona. It could just be, everybody's gonna be different. Some of us need to let go of the whole persona and the performance feeding into false narratives, and so it doesn't make it false necessarily. It just served purpose because that's where you were at the time, and just accept that we grow and elevate even when we're older. There could be someone much older here that is just about to release some expression that has been built up for 70 years, and it'll be like the Twilight Zone. Now all of a sudden you're different. I don't know. Like I said, we can all embody all of the archetypes depending on the situation, which one comes out. Let's get some tarot for my babes. Just trying to get a message. Excuse me. What is a message? Somebody's addicted to an old persona. And people are going to feel some type of way. Like when I stopped eating a certain way, most of my family members are a little chubby. And they, instead of engaging in, how I shifted my habits, they side-eye me and they just, I don't know. I get it, because I was a little chubby for years. But it wasn't, I was never like, this is just what I like to do and eat. I was always so desperate to get a healthy diet. And it's crazy how hard it is because of all the terrible food and no time to cook. And if you have the time, you don't maybe have the money or whatever the reasons. It's like I couldn't start cooking the way I wanted until I had my own place. But anyways, like, because of all the examples of all the fit people out there, it was like, okay, there is a way. I just have to find it for myself. And so I basically eat, like, I love the food I make. And I don't really cut out, well, let's just say I cut the proportions. I don't overeat anymore. And I don't snack in between meals. I just have really yummy, like two meals a day that are so satisfying and such a pleasure to make, connecting with the earth element. I know this, I'm a little bit of a babbler right now. But I just want you guys to know that whatever this addiction to a character of you that has come to the point where it just feels like you're performing and it's not aligning with your growth, and it takes 21 days to form new, like, brain waves. Probably, 2 or 3 weeks to break the habit. But while you get rid of old habits, you must simultaneously implement new habits, so that there's not just a void there where all you can think about is eating or smoking or a toxic boyfriend. It's like we have to fill the void with new pathways. Okay, yeah, so it takes 21 days to create a new habit. And so if you just allow yourself to suffer, let's say, for a couple weeks, it's like if you make your bed, for 2 or 3 days in a row, it feels good, and then you might not continue. But if you were to do it for 3 weeks straight, it ends up that it's like a habit, like a routine, like an autopilot, automated reaction. And so it's not painful forever. It takes a certain amount of strength and courage to fight through that uncomfortable shift. But just know that it gets easier, and then you make your bed every day with pleasure. Or it's not even, it's like a neutral, like a autopilot. It's not like, make my bed again for every day forever. No, it just becomes a way of life. That's not, whatever. So give yourself the time to create these new neuropathic waves and replacing your old persona with the an expression of you that is out loud through your voice or your actions, and stay consistent until it matures and it's just the new you. And you can tap into that old persona whenever you want if it's really necessary. That's the message. 5 of inspiration. Competition, challenge. Compete with yourself. Somebody's being challenged by them to level up. There's like 5 of you, like 5 stages in this challenge, and somebody's up for it, or you wouldn't be here. Bless my babes, just trying to level up, please. All right, somebody is inspired by this challenge to express the new you. 6 of inspiration, the 5 to the 6. Okay, progress. You're going to succeed, and people are going to notice because it's going to be in living color. You're going to inspire others. And the ones that don't appreciate you leveling up, just keep doing you. You know, I have an often knee-jerk reaction to defend myself to like my mom, but I don't use the defensive expression. I just continue to be the person that is like just continuing to be that person is the defense. You don't have to tell them what they're not seeing or how they should change. You just continue to be the person that, and they will be forced. 6 of inspiration. My mom has an inevitable new perspective on who I am becoming. And she, once in a while, she'll give me a tiny seed of credit because she can't. It's like she doesn't even want to. It's like it's just they can't deny. Anyway, somebody's going to complete this challenge, this competition within self, overcome an old persona, and develop this new mask. And it's going to be witnessed, and it's like 6 of inspiration is somebody who is being praised by an audience. And so, there's many people that won't give you the satisfaction of acknowledgement, but there will be so many that will. It looks like at least 6 people here are going to see, recognize, and acknowledge your level up. You're leveling up in expression. All right, what's the message from my page? Trying to get a message. 8 of inspiration. The 5 to the 6 to the 8. moving forward. Look at this. This is so dope. This is forward movement, fast, passionate. Somebody's up for something. Somebody's up for this challenge, and they're pushing through like a boss. Looking good, too. Getting the right downloads, the right information, the right motivation, taking the right steps, pushing through old thought patterns. Blessed, my babes, okay? My babes. Blessed. 1 second, please. Out of bottled water. Oh well. Okay, what is the message from my babes? Trying to get a minute. Love you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for working on your beautiful selves. Breaking free from the generation chains. What is it? Breaking generational curses. Surround yourself with the ones you want to aspire to. We are kind of the product of the closest ones that we surround ourselves with. It's like when you're connected with somebody that isn't trying to ascend, then you're kind of just keeping each other capped out. So if you break free from them and trust that they will figure it out, because it's not on you. Everybody has their own journey. And if they want to level up, they're going to better do it with this connection. Like I said. And if they don't feel like leveling up through your example or inspiration, then they aren't ready, or there's things that they have shoved down and not handled that they first have to handle, and that is also on them. I know my babes and I are desperate to nurture and save and uplift and encourage and we have to be very conscious of the boundaries, making sure not to deplete our own cup, because then it defeats the point. Then you don't have anything to give anyways. You guys get it. I'm just babbling. Somebody needs to hear this. Somebody is challenged by themselves, taking on the challenge of upgrading their persona. The shadow attribute to this mask, again, I'll say, compromises integrity and honesty, allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. That inner spirit is the voice that's like, just go smoke a cigarette or just go eat it. That is the addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. That voice is, you can silence that voice. When I stopped drinking, oh my gosh, I literally spoke to like my addictive, the drinker, sat her over there and we had a conversation out loud, and I was like, look, girlfriend, this is not gonna work. And like, I was just like, and it's like I had to place that addictive voice outside of me and speak on it, and then I could have like some sort of detachment through this experiment, or it's like it was so helpful. Gotta sit that addictive voice that is taking authority over your life, and set that voice outside of you and tell them what's up. What's this? 10 of materials. Somebody is challenged. What is this challenge? Challenged by generational wealth, challenged by success of your own business, challenged by maybe you have too much shit. Isn't it weird? We all just we want to accumulate all this stuff, and then like, this is my shit, and this is what I work for, and not gonna let it go for anything. Okay, so somebody might be attached to too much physical items. I can't, I guess I'll just take another minute here to tell you a little bit about when I sold everything I had, got rid of everything. I had just my car of items, but I had been with a guy for like 10 years, and we accumulated a 5-bedroom house of stuff. And it took me 3 years to get rid of all of it. But after I started, it got easier and easier, and now I don't want anything extra. I just have like a trailer, so there's not room for much extra, but like somebody here might be on the path to not minimalism, but recognizing that these things that you accumulate is like this weight. And it's like a bedroom full of shit that just, it's like, I remember it's so fucking, it's such a task, because with the going through every item, I was like, I had to think like why I would want it, or if I got rid of it, where I would take it, or if I could sell it, or it came down to every single item. It was like, fuck! My girlfriend in Oregon, she had this little plastic box of toothpicks, but she got dentures, and so she didn't need it. But she had this half used, and it was dirty, like it had been sitting in a drawer for years, and like had like gummy sticky stuff on it. But she couldn't get rid of this because she knew somebody could probably use it, and nobody wants her dirty pack of toothpicks that's probably worth $1 maybe, but she couldn't get rid of it. And so I took it off her hands, and then I threw it away because the box was just, I don't know. I might have used a couple, but isn't it bizarre? We get somebody's challenged by even just a plastic half-used box of toothpicks that they don't even need. It's like, I get it. It's so exhausting just to get rid of something. It's like, it got easier. And I could talk on that for so long. And that's just, for maybe a couple of you. Somebody might be challenged to gain some more, like somebody might have been just kind of more or less poor, and now you're challenging yourself to a person, a mask that it's been inside the whole time. It's like, you're worthy of abundance and prosperity, and maybe you just are now starting to see it as an actual reality, and so you're challenged to do something with your hands, create something that will provide more means coming in, and more means coming in means you can get more things. Jesus teaches us a very hard lesson, perhaps the hardest, and that is to have a clean slate. Get rid of everything, even the people. And so just be careful that if you are trying to align with Jesus, or just be careful that anybody that's been poor their whole life doesn't have a whole lot in the first place, but I don't know, just be careful to not accumulate a bunch of things because you're just now inspired to, without having an appreciation of working from the very ground up. I just want to say that because this is not easy. Jesus teaches us some very hard things, and anyways, a couple more. Somebody's challenged by this generational wealth, either getting rid of things or recognizing that they can now build things. I'd rather have 2 or 3 really nice, expensive tools or appliances than a bunch of things that are impulse buys. I think everybody needs a sharp cooking knife instead of a bunch of cheap ones throughout their life that are so annoying. My mom just won't get a good knife, but as soon as I could, I got. Anyways, that's just one little thing. It's like, you can have things, but just have really nice quality things that have an actual purpose, and don't just have things lying around that you never touch or use or think about. In your clothes, time to get rid of some clothes. All right, somebody is inspired by an expression that is being revealed And it's going to be witnessed. Duh. Once you start living this new expression, you're gonna be acknowledged. At least by some. Probably not the ones you've been around, though. What is this? 6 of inspiration. Somebody's being witnessed or will be for this new expression. The Chariot? Cool. The Chariot represents somebody who is unblocked, somebody who moves at the speed of thought, somebody who has balanced their shadow, working together with the old personas and the new developed persona. People see you are as like elevated. Your solar plexus, your gut, your compass that is undeniable. Somebody has this gut feeling and it is guiding them at the speed of light. The 8 of Wands and the Chariot, 2 of the fastest energies in the deck. What is this 8 of Wands or 8 of inspiration? Somebody's moving forward like a boss. Nice. Becoming. You're becoming the character that has been silent. Queen of emotions. Water. Lots of compassion for this breakthrough. Lots of compassion for yourself. Lots of time you're allowing for this to unfold. Compassionate for those that you have to kind of release. Compassion for the self. It's like there's it's like aligning your spirit with your body instead of fighting your body. It's like when I sat that alcohol addict outside of me, I had to, it's like, take care of my body. Like, and so putting some self-love and just pour into yourself and overcome that voice that has some authority right now. That is just a voice on repeat, and that's all they got is this fucking loud voice. And you can shut that voice off by having your other voice be louder, and again, replacing the habits with new ones. It's going to take a few weeks, and it's like everything else will sort itself out. But you focus on this thing, and you're going to be recognized and inspiring others. Seriously. So, let's get one more from my babes. About to have a breakthrough, if we may. What's the message? Oh, my babe's just trying to get a message. Important mission. Your soul has an important mission to fulfill in this lifetime. Search within, and you'll discover your mission. Your mission, if you so choose to accept, is to overcome that voice that is reaching our fullest potential and being an example for others. Purpose within purpose. It's like when you have purpose to reach your full potential, you just naturally embody the mission. It's an important mission to fulfill in this lifetime. Search within, and you'll discover your mission. At the very least, your mission is to just be love. Just sitting there, you're fulfilling your mission if you embody love. Let's get one more. For my baby, trying to get a message. Love you guys so much. Trying to overcome an old mask. And so it is, and so you will. And somebody here is up for the challenge. And the 5 to the 6 to the 8 and the Chariot. If somebody's pushing through like a boss, that's you. Okay, one more. Almost there. You have come this far to give up now. The seeds you planted are beginning to flourish. The thoughts of a new direction, those neural pathways, keep feeding into the seed. That thought starts with a thought, and you nourish that thought, and you water that thought, and you develop it until it is expressed. Almost there. The seeds you planted are beginning to flourish. The thought in a new direction is beginning to flourish. Important mission. Okay, so I think I'll leave it right there. I hope that helped you guys. I love you so much. Until next time.